Alright, in today's video I'm going to be continuing the series of looking at individual units by looking at the Cupid unit. It was requested that I looked into this unit, and so here we go. At the core of it, Cupid is a support unit. Cupid's bow and arrow does next to no damage at all, so this unit's success is pretty much solely reliant on its gimmick. After an enemy is struck by one of Cupid's arrows, it will turn and walk into another enemy unit and start dealing damage to them. This happens no matter the target unit. Squires, mammoths, and even ice giants. If a unit happens to be solo, then Cupid's arrows will affect them differently, and by differently I mean they'll try and walk off the edge of the map. And again, this happens no matter the affected unit, big or small. Cupid's rate of fire is also pretty good, being able to fire considerably faster than the standard archer, being able to shoot around 3 times as fast. The Cupid unit costs 500 points, so this unit doesn't cost all that much. And lastly, Cupid is one of the only aerial units in the game, which does make it harder for some melee units to hit him. Now, this does mean that this unit will win every one-on-one, with no exceptions. It also means Cupid is a pretty damn good support unit. Have a couple of these fellas at the back and it can really do a lot of damage, especially if you place a lot of peasant units to sandbag hits and distract archers. But the unit's drawbacks are just as important. One drawback is how little health Cupid has. It only takes a single arrow to take him out. Cupid also does very little damage, as outlined earlier. Against melee units, this is no problem. It only takes a group of squires to slow them down. And even if those squires fail to fulfill that role, Cupid's amazing rate of fire comes in clutch if worst comes to worst. Against the ranged units though, it's a slightly different story. If the units defending Cupid are even slightly inadequate, and lets one stray arrow pass, then Cupid is done for. So when it comes to ranged units, make sure you have an effective means to protect this unit. If that's all the drawbacks, then Cupid sounds like one hell of a unit, one of the best in the game. I see you typing down there. Well, that probably would be the case if it weren't for the existence of one unit. The healer. The healer is able to completely nullify Cupid's arrows' effects by simply healing the affected unit, and since the healer does this with quick frequency, it's like the arrows have no effect. This makes Cupid completely useless in any fight against an army that contains a healer, being by far Cupid's biggest weakness and knocking him off his potential pedestal of the best support unit in the game. So, to round up my thoughts on this unit, it's an amazing unit with a very powerful gimmick that can really be damaging. However, this unit isn't usable in the event the enemy has a healer, and requires proper protection in the event the enemy has ranged units, which puts this unit in a weird spot. It's a top tier unit that requires strict placement in some situations and is rendered useless in others. So, to answer the question, is Cupid a good unit? I think on this occasion I will call upon you lot to answer that question.